you talked about the administration, the athletic director, and then the hiring of a new football coach. So what needs to happen is exactly what you're talking about. First and foremost, to understand what is the mission, what do we want the expectations to be, what is either realistic or what is important to us. And this isn't going to be stated publicly. No program's going to come out publicly and say, you know what, we're good with winning 7 or 8 games a year because we just want the ACC TV contract and we just want to go to bowl games and make that money, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to talk about championships, blah, blah, blah. But within that inner circle, heart to heart, truth be told, who are we? What do we want to be? What are we willing to sacrifice? What are we willing to do? What kind of effort to be elite, to be a championship contender year in, year out? What does Clemson do? What does Ohio State do? What do these programs do? What are they committed to do? How are they doing it? So if you can align all of them, because I've even heard athletic directors specifically in the Pac-12, knowing that maybe they didn't have the support of the administration or the resources, the finances, and knowing that the Pac-12 is strong in other sports, swimming, track and field events, Olympic sports, and knowing that that's more of an easier path to being dominant in non-revenue sports, and that the football lift is too heavy, that they will even emphasize and talk about, well, we're a full sports program. We don't have an emphasis in any one direction. We're looking for a well-rounded sports department. So I think it's crucial that the administration is truthful with itself, so then they can be truthful with hiring an athletic director, say this is who we are and what we aim to be. And if that is to be a elite football program, then somebody asked the question here about hiring a head coach, and who you hire first as the athletic director that's going to get you, because that athletic director has a lot of responsibilities, but one that we're talking about right here is making the right hire of a head coach. I think the simple method there would be to go through every school in the country, look at their athletic directors and say, what hires have they made? What's their track record in hiring football coaches?
Right. So, I mean, I don't think that it's something super easy.
No.
I don't think it's also the hardest thing in the world. I guess the biggest thing you have to think about is, can we afford this coach and the funding? Yeah. But at a place like Miami, where, you got people paying $58,000 a year to come here, dude, you got money, okay? And that's the thing that pisses a lot of fans off is, please don't pretend like we don't have the money to do certain things. Please don't try to say that since we did renovations to the locker room, to the dorms, and since we did renovations to the School of Music, that we actually don't have money to fund a football, and a pretty good football program. And I'll say this, for people who want to say that we are impatient and want to say that it makes them embarrassed to be a Miami Hurricanes fan because of the way that we're acting. We're not overreacting. We're continuously holding this program to the standard in which that they tell us they are about. You come on and speak about being a national championship program, but field people and teams and staffs like this, come on. And the thing about it is, Mark, the crazy part right now is people think that Coach Diaz, he can't win. If he goes for the touchdown and they catch an interception and they say, why didn't you just line it up and go for the field goal? They complain and get mad about that. If he goes for the field goal and he misses it, they complain that he misses it. If they kick the field goal, they make the field goal, they score it, they win the game, and they go, well, we didn't win by enough. All we're saying is, man, we don't want to blow everybody out by 60. That's not what we're saying. It's just how in the world are we seeing our older players regress? The younger players who you continuously want to hold off the football field come on and look better than the older guys, but you don't want to play them because you want to buy time and say that they need to learn your system and develop it. Okay? It feels as though this team is not going out and playing for you hard and fired up and excited to be on that football field. It feels like they're just there. Okay? They're going through the motions and they're, I may come up and make this tackle, I may not. Okay. The scary thing is we spend so much time waiting on things and just giving people time to build something just because is nowhere what college football is anymore. That's not how you do it. Because Mark, how many more careers are we going to waste? How many more recruiting classes are we going to just throw to the wayside and the creme de la creme doesn't come here? And it's filled with only a couple 4 stars and everyone else is 3 stars who are still buying into the Miami Hurricanes hype because they love the U, the rings, and the turnover train. But the elite ones are going to Georgia, Florida, or Bama because they want to actually love Miami. They grew up Miami fans, but we're not fielding a team that's going to help them change their families' lives and go to the National Football League and be good enough to play at that level. Okay, because newsflash, just because you run a 4.3 or 4.4 doesn't mean you're going to the NFL. And if you do, you're going to go as an undrafted free agent or 6th, 7th rounder, and you're going to be out of the league in a couple of years. If you do not have the teaching to get it done properly. I've used this analogy before, and I used it on my show last night. When a principal comes in, Mark, to the classroom, right? I've never once seen a principal come into that classroom and blame the students for not passing tests. I haven't. I've never seen it. I've never seen them walk in and just, hey, row 1, 1, 2, row 3, row 4. You all are going to be suspended if you don't pass your next test. Whoa. What do you mean? No, you're not passing your tests. You're not doing well. You're not passing your midterms. You're on track to not pass your finals. We need you to go ahead and transfer. Pick another school. Never once heard it in my life, Mark. You know who they go and talk to? The instructor, the teacher. What's going on? Now, if push comes to shove, okay, and you find out that, hey, I have a couple of students in here who are not getting things together, who are distracting a lot of my other students and not allowing me to teach properly and not allowing me to come and convey the message because they want to take over the classroom, that's when it will be different. But Mark, even then, they don't go to the student, they go to the parent. But for some unapparent reason, this fan base decides that we need to be attacking players and going after players instead of talking to the athletic director and talking to the staff and getting and looking in a different direction of leadership. That's what I will continue to say. That's where my argument and where my direction is. Okay. That's where my direction is. And some people could call me overreactionary, call me emotional. That's fine. That's okay. I just want to get this right. I want to see it done right because there are plenty, Mark, plenty of young men who bought in, who love this, whose parents looked these staff members in the eyes and trusted them with their young man. And for you to say that we should just, well, give it a couple of years, see what happens. And that's another young man. And then next year, it's another group of young men. And then the year after that, it's another group of young men that we continue to waste their futures until we give him 4 to 5 years to figure it out. That is not the way of doing things. Okay. That is not the way of doing things. We don't need to continue to do this. Again, when it comes to Coach Diaz, I truly believe if we were to go to a different program, and whether he goes on to be a linebackers coach, a DC, somewhere else, goes in, looks at the way he's doing some things, changes the way he's doing some things, has a different leadership, like a different head coach, a different AD, people who aren't going to take some of those things. I don't know if he'll end up being able to go into the Nick Saban School of Teaching at Alabama. Maybe he goes to Ohio State as an outside linebackers coach. Maybe he goes to Georgia as their inside linebackers coach. Maybe he goes to Vandy. I don't know. But somewhere else, he can grow, he can learn. And I truly believe somewhere down the line, Coach Diaz will get another opportunity as a head coach, and he'll be much better. I just think right now, it's too early in his career to have a job like this with the pressure of the University of Miami, with the pressure and the expectation of being the head man at Miami when he's still really young in his head coaching tenure at Miami. That's all I'm saying. If he was at Temple right now growing, if he was DC at Cincinnati, if he was DC at Texas A&M, things of that nature, being able to go and grow. That's all I'm saying. Just grow. Okay? Just grow. And I think we need to go in an experienced coach direction. We need to go in a different direction at the athletic department area. And I believe we need to go there first. Instead of letting go of Coach Diaz, let's go ahead and cut the head off at the top. Okay. And the reason why I don't go above him and go to the president is because our president, Julio Franks, has let it be known bluntly. I'm not a sports guy. I don't get in the way of our athletic director. He controls athletics. And some people were mad about that. In my opinion, if I'm AD, that's beautiful because guess what? I don't have to go to him to sign off on much. Okay. He literally gives me, you are number one in that direction. I'm focusing on the medical and the business communication school. You got all athletics. So it would be my job and his job to get it right. I think let's go in that direction first. Because if you let go of Coach Diaz, who's down, who's here, and the AD is here, you cut this and everyone under him, have them go in a different direction. Okay. Who's going to be a part of the hiring process? The person that's hired the last couple of coaches that haven't worked out. So we need to start here. Okay. We need to go in a different direction at the athletic director department. And then once we go from there, bring in someone who can get it done right, who has a vision, who has a plan, who not only can talk that talk, but really knows how to get it done. That's where we need to go. Really knows how to get it done, man. And, I don't want to keep beating this horse, Mark, because I feel like, but I do, and I need to, Mark. I have to, because as much as people try to make it seem like we don't have a voice, us in the media, us as fans, we don't have a voice. Yes, you do. You have a voice, and we all need to be on one direction. A change at athletic director and a change at head coach. Not just a change for change's sake. We need to be able to do interviews and make sure that this person knows how to get it done at this level. We need to start that with Alonzo Highsmith to the University of